As the African sun rises, it paints the Maasai Mara in hues of gold and amber. A lone figure stands silhouetted against this dawn, majestic and powerful. It is him, Scarface, the lion of legends. His famous scar, a deep furrow above his left eye, catches the first light. He was more than just a lion, he became an icon, a symbol of the wild heart of Africa. Wildlife enthusiasts, photographers and filmmakers from every corner of the globe knew his name. His life was a saga, an epic written in tooth and claw. He was, quite simply, the most famous lion in the world. His gaze sweeps across his kingdom, a kingdom he ruled for many years. He is an old warrior now, but the fire in his eyes still burns bright. His legend is etched into the very soul of the Maasai Mara. Scarface was born in 2007, in the southern part of the Maasai Mara National Reserve. His mother belonged to the Marsh Pride, a well-known family of lions. He and his three brothers, Hunter, Marani and Sikio, were close from the start. They tumbled and played, learning the ways of the wild. They watched their mother hunt, learned to stalk, to pounce, to survive. The Mara is a bountiful land, but it is also a place of great danger. Hyenas, buffalo and rival lions pose constant threats. These formative years forged an unbreakable bond between the four young males. They were more than just siblings, they were a unit, a team. This brotherhood would become the foundation of their future power. As they grew, they became known as the Four Musketeers. Young male lions are eventually driven out of their birth pride, so the day came when Scarface and his brothers had to leave. They ventured out as nomads, seeking their own territory. The life of a nomadic lion is perilous, but the four brothers were strong. They were ambitious. The incident that would define Scarface occurred in his youth. It was a territorial dispute, a fierce battle. He and his brothers were attempting to establish their dominance. They encountered other males equally determined to defend their patch. The fight was brutal, a whirlwind of roars and claws. It was during this intense confrontation that a rival lion's claw struck true, tearing open the flesh above Scarface's left eye, a deep, grievous wound. For a young lion, such an injury could be fatal, but Scarface was resilient. He survived. The wound eventually healed, but it left a prominent, permanent mark, a jagged scar that ran from his eyebrow down towards his nose. This scar would become his namesake. It was more than just a disfigurement, it became a symbol, a badge of honor. The scar did not diminish him. Instead, it added to his imposing aura, making him instantly recognizable. When people spoke of the lion with the scar, everyone knew who they meant. The legend of Scarface was beginning to take firm root in the Maasai Mara. With Scarface and his brothers, Hunter, Marani and Sikio now fully grown, their ambition knew no bounds. The Four Musketeers, as they were often called, were a formidable alliance. Their combined strength was immense. They began to systematically challenge established prides. Their goal was clear: to take over territories and gain access to breeding females. Their rise to power was swift and often brutal. They moved across the Mara, a united front. They took over the Marsh Pride, their natal pride, a significant victory. Then, they expanded their dominion further. At their peak, Scarface and his coalition controlled an enormous territory. It spanned several prides, including the Olare Orok Pride and the Paradise Pride. This was an unprecedented level of control. They were the undisputed kings of a vast swath of the Maasai Mara. Scarface, despite his eye injury, was a commanding presence. His scar only added to his fearsome reputation. He led from the front. His strategic mind, combined with his brother's brawn, made them an unstoppable force. They patrolled their territories regularly. Their reign was absolute. Scarface's leadership style was remarkable. He was not just about brute force. He possessed a keen intelligence. He understood the importance of his coalition. He maintained strong bonds with his brothers, Hunter, Marani, and Sikio. This unity was crucial to their long-term success. While all contributed, Scarface often seemed to be the strategist, the calm head in times of crisis. His endurance was also legendary. He fought through numerous injuries that would have crippled lesser lions. One of the most fascinating aspects of Scarface was his tolerance of safari vehicles. Many wild animals are wary of humans, but Scarface seemed almost indifferent to the presence of jeeps and photographers. This made him a favorite among tourists and wildlife documentarians. He became an ambassador for his species. The life of a dominant male lion is one of perpetual conflict. Scarface and his coalition faced numerous challenges throughout their reign. Rival coalitions of younger, stronger lions were a constant threat. These challengers were eager to usurp the throne. They sought the territories and the prides that Scarface and his brothers controlled. Each encounter was a life-or-death struggle. Beyond the threat of other lions, the harsh conditions of the wild took their toll. Droughts could make prey scarce. Injuries sustained during hunts, perhaps from a buffalo's horn or a zebra's kick, could be debilitating. Scarface himself endured a catalog of wounds. His famous eye scar was just the beginning. He later suffered a severe hip injury which left him with a permanent limp. This made hunting and fighting even more challenging, yet he persevered. Each injury Scarface sustained told a part of his incredible survival story. They were not marks of weakness, but badges of courage. They spoke of battles fought, of dangers overcome. He was a warrior through and through. His ability to recover from serious wounds, to continue leading and defending his territory despite physical ailments was extraordinary. It cemented his legendary status. Time, the great leveler, eventually caught up with Scarface and his mighty coalition. As the years passed, the brothers aged. Their once formidable strength began to diminish. Younger, more powerful lions started to make serious inroads into their territories. One by one, the members of the Four Musketeers coalition either disappeared or were overthrown. Scarface, the last of his legendary brothers, eventually found himself alone. He was an old lion now, carrying the marks of countless battles. His iconic scar, his limp, his weathered face, all told the story of a long and arduous reign. He was forced to relinquish control of his former territories. He stepped down from power, not in a blaze of glory, but with the quiet dignity of an aging monarch. He became a solitary figure, roaming the plains that he once ruled. Even in his solitude and declining physical state, Scarface commanded immense respect. Other animals, and indeed the safari guides and researchers who had followed his life, treated him with a certain reverence. He was a living legend. His presence still had an impact. Younger lions who might have easily dispatched another aging male, sometimes seemed to give him a wide berth. He was an elder statesman of the savannah. On the 11th of June, 2021, the reign of Scarface finally came to a peaceful end. He was found lying still beneath his favorite acacia tree in the Maasai Mara. He had passed away from natural causes. There were no signs of a fight, no indication of foul play from rivals or poachers. He simply lay down and breathed his last. It was a quiet, dignified end for a lion whose life had been anything but quiet. He was approximately 14 years old. 14 years is an exceptionally long life for a male lion in the wild. Most succumb to injuries, starvation, or are killed by rivals long before reaching such an age. His longevity was a testament to his strength, his intelligence, and perhaps a little bit of luck. He had outlasted his brothers, outmaneuvered countless challengers, and survived injuries that would have claimed many others. His passing marked the end of an era in the Maasai Mara. News of his death spread quickly. Tributes poured in from around the world. Conservationists, photographers, tourists, and wildlife lovers mourned his passing. He was not just any lion, he was Scarface, a global icon. Scarface may be gone, but his legacy endures. He lives on in the countless photographs and videos taken by adoring fans. He lives on in the stories told by guides around campfires in the Maasai Mara. He lives on in the memories of all who were fortunate enough to witness him in his prime. He set a benchmark for what a lion could be, a symbol of wildness, resilience, and regal power. His impact on wildlife tourism in Kenya was also significant. Many came specifically hoping to see him. His long reign and the success of his coalition provided invaluable insights for researchers. Scientists studied his movements, his interactions, and the dynamics of his coalition. This data helps us to better understand lion behavior and the challenges they face. His life contributed to conservation efforts, raising awareness about the importance of protecting these magnificent animals and their habitat. He became an unwitting ambassador for his species, inspiring people to care about the future of lions in Africa. The legend of Scarface will undoubtedly be passed down through generations. A dark, powerful shape against the growing light. This was no ordinary lion. This was Scarface. His silhouette, often seen atop a termite mound surveying his kingdom, was iconic. It spoke of majesty, of an untamed spirit, and of a story waiting to be told. He was more than just a predator. He was a monarch. His very outline against the horizon seemed to command respect. The way he held his head, the stillness of his powerful shoulders, all hinted at the immense strength and character within. Even from a distance, before the details of his famed scar became visible, there was an aura about him, an aura that drew you in, compelling you to watch, to understand. Scarface, even as a silhouette, possessed a unique magnetism. He was a living legend, a true king of this incredible wilderness, his presence a testament to the enduring power of nature. The most distinguishing feature of this magnificent lion, the one that gave him his name, was the prominent scar above his right eye. It was a jagged line, a permanent reminder of a past battle, a testament to the harsh realities of life in the wild. No one knows for certain how he acquired it. Some say it was a territorial fight with a rival male, a clash of titans for supremacy. Others whisper it might have been a glancing blow from a Maasai herdsman's spear. Whatever its origin, the scar was not a disfigurement. Instead, it became his badge of honor, a symbol of his incredible resilience and unyielding spirit. This scar did not diminish his regal appearance. If anything, it enhanced it. It added character to his already imposing face, making him instantly recognizable. It told a story of survival, of overcoming adversity. In the wild, an injury can often mean weakness, an invitation for rivals, or a death sentence. But for Scarface, this wound had healed, leaving behind a mark that spoke of strength. He had faced a severe challenge and had emerged not just alive, but stronger, more formidable. The scar was a constant declaration: I have fought, I have endured, and I still reign. What truly set Scarface apart, beyond his distinctive scar, was his demeanor. He possessed a calm, quiet dominance that was utterly captivating. Unlike many male lions who might rely on boisterous displays of aggression, loud roars, and constant assertion, Scarface often ruled with an understated authority. His mere presence was usually enough to command respect and maintain order within his territory and his pride. He exuded an aura of confidence that needed no theatrical reinforcement. This quiet strength made him seem even more powerful, more assured of his place at the apex of the Mara's hierarchy. He would often be seen resting, seemingly oblivious to the world around him, yet always aware. His gaze, though sometimes sleepy, missed nothing. A flick of his ear, a slow turn of his massive head, was often all it took to communicate his intent or his displeasure. Other animals, including hyenas and even younger, more impetuous lions, seemed to understand his boundaries without the need for overt aggression. Scarface did not rule the Maasai Mara alone. His reign was made legendary by his association with one of the most formidable lion coalitions the Mara had ever seen. He was part of a band of brothers, often referred to as the Four Musketeers. This powerful alliance included Hunter, Sikio, and Marani, his real-life brothers. Together, these four magnificent males carved out a vast territory, dominating a significant portion of the Maasai Mara for an extraordinary period. Their unity was their strength, a formidable force that few rivals dared to challenge. This brotherhood was a key factor in their collective success and longevity. Their reign was remarkable not just for its length, but also for its stability. In the brutal world of lions, coalitions are essential for male survival and reproductive success. The Four Musketeers, however, displayed a remarkable bond. Scarface was, without a doubt, a photographer's dream. His striking appearance, dominated by that unforgettable scar, combined with his majestic presence, made him an irresistible subject. He was arguably the most photographed lion in the world. Wildlife photographers, both amateur and professional, would travel from distant lands, hoping for a chance to capture his image. His tolerance for vehicles, often allowing them to approach relatively closely, provided unparalleled opportunities to document his life. He wasn't just a wild animal, he was a celebrity, a supermodel of the savannah, and he seemed to wear his fame with a regal nonchalance. His images went viral long before going viral was a common term for wildlife. Photographs of him, whether in repose, on patrol, or interacting with his pride, graced the pages of magazines, websites, and social media feeds across the globe. Each picture told a part of his story, adding to his growing legend. The scar, far from being a flaw, became his signature, making his photographs instantly recognizable and highly sought after. He possessed a natural charisma that translated powerfully through the lens. Scarface's life was a testament to incredible resilience. The famous scar above his eye was just one of many battles he fought and survived. Life for a male lion in the Maasai Mara is a constant struggle, marked by territorial disputes, hunts that can go wrong, and the ever-present threat from rivals. Scarface endured numerous injuries throughout his long reign. He was seen limping on several occasions, bearing fresh wounds from clashes with other lions or perhaps from difficult encounters with formidable prey like buffalo. Yet, time and again, he would recover, his indomitable spirit refusing to yield. There were periods when observers feared the worst for him. A particularly bad hip injury in his later years made movement painful and difficult. For any other lion, such a handicap could have been a death sentence, making him vulnerable to younger, stronger challengers or unable to keep up with the demands of a nomadic life. But Scarface, supported by the strength of his coalition brothers and his own sheer determination, persevered. He adapted, he endured, and he continued to hold his ground, a true warrior king who refused to abdicate his throne easily. His survival through these challenges only added to his legendary status. When the news of Scarface's passing came on June 11, 2021, a wave of sadness rippled across the globe. He was not just any lion, he was a global icon, a beloved personality whose life had been followed by millions. From wildlife enthusiasts and conservationists to casual observers who had been captivated by his photographs, his death felt like the loss of a legend. He died peacefully, of natural causes near his birthplace, a fitting end for such a regal creature. There were no signs of conflict, no tragic final battle. He simply lay down and breathed his last, his long and impactful reign finally over. The emotional outpouring was immense. Tributes flooded social media platforms. People shared their favorite photographs of him, their personal memories of encounters, and their sorrow at his departure. It was as if the Maasai Mara itself wept for its most famous son. Guides and rangers who had known him for years felt a profound sense of loss. Scarface's legacy extends far beyond his impressive reign and captivating life story. He became, perhaps unintentionally, one of the most effective ambassadors for wildlife conservation the Maasai Mara has ever known. His global fame drew unprecedented attention to the region and, more importantly, to the plight of African lions. As people fell in love with his persona, they also became more aware of the threats facing these magnificent big cats: habitat loss, human-wildlife conflict, and poaching. His story provided a relatable face to a complex conservation challenge, making it more accessible and urgent for a worldwide audience. Through the countless photographs and documentaries featuring him, Scarface helped to fuel the tourism industry in Kenya, which in turn provides vital funding for conservation efforts and supports local communities. Visitors flocked to the Mara, hoping for a glimpse of the legendary lion, and their presence underscored the economic value of protecting wildlife. He demonstrated that a living lion, a king in his natural habitat, was worth infinitely more than any trophy. His existence helped justify the protection of vast wilderness areas, benefiting not just lions but the entire ecosystem they inhabit. Conservation organizations often used his image and story to raise funds and awareness for their projects. Scarface was more than just a lion with a distinctive mark. He became a true symbol, an embodiment of the untamed spirit of the African wilderness. His life story, filled with drama, resilience, and quiet dignity, resonated deeply with people from all walks of life across continents. He represented strength in the face of adversity, the courage to wear one's battle scars with pride, and the quiet authority that comes from true inner power. In a world that often feels increasingly disconnected from nature, Scarface served as a potent reminder of the raw beauty and inherent value of the wild. His iconic scar, initially a mark of injury, transformed into a symbol of survival and indomitable will. It told a tale of battles fought and won, of a life lived on the edge yet lived fully and with undeniable majesty. He taught us that imperfections can be badges of honor, that true character is forged in the crucible of challenges. His calm demeanor, his tolerance, and his unwavering presence in the Maasai Mara landscape made him a figure of stability and reassurance. He was a constant, a king who reigned not through tyranny, but through an almost serene self-assurance that commanded respect.